For millions of people, the American dream, it kind of starts with one thing, the green card, lottery. It's this famous pathway to a new life in the US. But what happens when that path just gets blocked? Well, that's what we're going to dive into.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, for years, for millions of people trying to get in, the answer was kind of, yeah, it was a lottery. But you have to ask yourself, is banking your entire future on pure luck? Is that really a solid plan?
And there you have it. For millions, it was a game of chance. But now, that game is paused. The whole thing has changed because the U.S. diversity visa program has been put on hold. And that's left thousands of people just stuck in limbo. It's forcing a huge rethink on how you even plan for a future in the States.
Okay, so to really get why this pause is such a big deal, we got to go back and look at what the program promised in the first place, right? What made this lottery so attractive to so many people around the world? Well, the diversity visa program. I mean, the name pretty much says it all. It was designed to do exactly that, diversify the pool of immigrants coming to the U.S. Every single year, it offered up to 55,000 visas. And the key part, it was a random lottery. This gave people from countries with lower immigration rates a totally unique shot. It was, for many, a massive opportunity. So what was the secret sauce? Why was it so popular? Well, here's the appeal. First off, you didn't need a family sponsor. You also didn't need a company or an employer to back you. And this is the big one. You didn't need to make a huge financial investment just to throw your hat in the ring. This low barrier to entry, man, it made it this incredible beacon of hope for millions. And here's where the story takes a turn. That promise we just talked about, it's run headfirst into a pretty harsh reality. For thousands of winners and hopefuls, that dream is now just on pause. Indefinitely. So why did it happen? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was really a perfect storm of issues. You had massive administrative backlogs at U.S. embassies, which meant these diversity visas often got pushed to the very bottom of the pile. Then you throw in some major policy shifts and a bunch of complicated legal challenges, and the whole system just ground to a halt. And the consequences of this? They're not abstract. They're incredibly real and deeply personal for so many families. See, here's the thing. These diversity visas have a struck deadline. They expire at the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. So if you're not processed by then, that winning ticket you're holding, it's gone. Poof. Forever. You can just imagine the insane uncertainty and emotional stress that creates, right? Families putting their entire lives on hold for a dream that might just disappear. Okay, so if that path, the one based on chance, is basically blocked, what's the alternative? For people who just can't afford to sit around and wait in uncertainty, the whole focus is shifting away from luck and toward strategy, away from chance and toward control. And that alternative is investment-based immigration. Now, instead of a random draw, this path is built on a really clear exchange. An applicant makes a significant financial investment that helps create U.S. jobs, and in return, they become eligible for a green card. See the difference? It's a pathway that's based on a concrete plan, not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. All right, so how does this actually work? Well, it's a pretty structured process. Step 1. An investor makes a qualifying investment into a project. This is often managed through these regulated groups called EB-5 regional centers. Now, that investment isn't just sitting there. It has to create jobs for U.S. workers. And if it all checks out, if it meets all the criteria, then the investor and their immediate family can become eligible for that green card. All right, let's do a head-to-head comparison. Let's put these two pathways right next to each other, because understanding these fundamental differences, well, that's absolutely key for anyone trying to figure out their options. And really, when you strip everything else away, it boils down to this one simple contrast. On one side, you have the lottery, which is all about uncertainty. On the other, you have the investment path, which is designed from the ground up for predictability. This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Let's walk through it. For the lottery, the selection basis is totally random. For investment, it's based on whether you qualify. Timelines for the lottery, super uncertain, totally subject to policy whims. Investment timelines are structured, way more predictable. Capital, you don't need any to apply for the lottery, but you need a significant investment for the other path. And the key risk. With the lottery, it's all about government policy and capacity, things completely out of your control. For an investor, the risk is tied to the project's performance. And here's another crucial one. Family coverage. The investment visa usually includes your spouse and kids, which isn't always a guarantee with the lottery. So, what's the big takeaway here? What should we walk away with? At the end of the day, it's really about reevaluating the whole idea of a plan versus just hoping for a lucky break. And here's the hard truth of the matter. The long-term outlook for the diversity visa program, well, it doesn't look like its reliability is going to improve anytime soon. With all the ongoing political debates and the operational messes, it's just not a sure thing. And for anyone who can't afford to put their life on hold for years, that fact alone is a huge motivator to start planning proactively. You know, this quote right here really sums it up perfectly. Diversification applies not only to investments, but also to residency planning. It just makes so much sense, right? Relying on one single unpredictable path is a super high-risk strategy. It's just like with your finances. You wouldn't put all your money in one stock. Diversifying your options for residency is just plain smart. It's about building a solid, resilient strategy for your family's future. And so, that brings us to the final question, the one you have to ask yourself. In a world that feels more and more uncertain, are you willing to bet your entire future on a lottery ticket? Or is it time to pick up a pencil and start drawing up a blueprint?